I'm Tom Wallace with Wallace Engineering, and I'm also the owner of the building, along with my wife. That's 200 East Brady, LLC. And we lease this building to Wallace Engineering, and I'm one of the owners of Wallace Engineering as well. The building is a pretty rough and rugged building. When we bought it originally, it had really good bones to it. For a structural engineer, that's a good thing. Solid concrete roof, and as you can see, 24-inch square columns at 17 feet on center each way. It's not going to fall in anytime soon. Great brick exterior walls. On the north facade of the building, there are some old signs that are faded that you can just barely read that sort of tell the history of this building as a grocery warehouse, and then many other things were in this building. And then it was abandoned for about 25 years, and we moved in and swept it out, cleaned it up, and one of my instructions to the contractor was knock everything that's loose off the ceilings and the walls and the columns, and anything that sticks, we'll just leave it there and paint it white. And you can see that that's exactly what we've done in this space. You can even see the remnants of old office walls and the plaster ceiling that's left up there, and in some places there is no ceiling. There was no plaster on the ceiling. It's just corrugated metal formwork. So we kept that sort of industrial warehouse theme throughout the building. One of the big challenges for this building is we have a lot of storage, about 5,000 square feet of storage space. So behind that corrugated metal wall panel is that storage space, and then we've surrounded that storage space with office space. So it's kind of hidden within the first floor of the building. Upstairs is much more open. So I'll take you upstairs if you want to do that now. So as you can see, the upstairs is quite a bit more open. We had to work with the column spacing that we had, which is pretty tight by today's modern standards, 17 feet on center each way. So our architects, Seltzer Schaefer Architects, designed a special work module here, and you can kind of peek over the low wall and see that we've got a work cubicle that all three people in the space share, and then three people fit within a 17 by 17 foot area. One of the other challenges that worked out pretty well was this whole west wall was solid masonry, and that made for a very dark space because this building is about 140 feet wide and 140 feet deep. So what we did was took off the old dilapidated structural clay tile and replaced it with a window wall that is steel and glass and aluminum. And as you can see, it lets a lot of light deeply into the second floor area. And we have these automated shades that we can put down after the sun goes over the crest at noon. And in the morning, they all go up, and everybody likes to see out. This is kind of an odd perspective, but one of the nice things about a building like this, where all the structure is exposed, is it's a learning tool for architects and engineers for what we do. And so one of the things we wanted to do was expose the workings of an elevator as sort of a piece of art also. So you can see we've got a steel frame around our elevator core here, but you can see the elevator. Now you can't look out when you get in the elevator. You can't see out of it, but you can see how it operates, and you can see all of the things that a structural engineer and architect needs to deal with when they design an elevator. And we think that's kind of handy, and also we like the way it looks. And here is a moving demonstration right before your eyes. There's just something sort of magical about the roof of a building in an urban setting. If it's nice weather, everybody's attracted up here. Sometimes at lunchtime there'll be a half dozen or a dozen people up here just taking in the sun. I hope to have trees located over the columns and a lot more green space up here with plants that don't require a lot of maintenance, but we just haven't gotten there yet. We do have a lot of parties up here, and in nice weather like today, it's pretty fantastic. We have geothermal wells in the parking lot. I think we have 66 wells, about 320 feet deep over here, and they have done a great job of providing heating and air conditioning for our building at about half the price of conventional systems. Even though this is an old building, we insulated the outside walls, and we have heavy insulation on the roof, and the thermal mass of the masonry helps a lot. So all that together makes this 1925 building more efficient than most of the newest buildings built these days.